Hi, and welcome back to my channel, Books and Beaches. So today I come to you with an embarrassingly large book haul. So it's been a while. I can't remember the last time I did one. Actually, I just pulled it up. It was back in September, so it's been a while. And this book haul wouldn't actually be that big until a little trip I took last weekend. So let's just jump in and get started because we're going to be here for a while. First things first, I want to start with this huge box of books in here that I received in the mail. And I sometimes forget things that I either sign up for or forms I fill out. And I am pretty sure I probably filled out something for my book club to get some books. And we were so graciously sent a box of 10 books along with some bookmarks and 10 copies of this adorable Christmas book, The Christmas Window, from Melissa McClone. And actually, I believe it came right from her because there was this really cute little note in here. So thank you, Melissa. I cannot wait to bring this book to book club. I think it'll be a great addition because we always do a book exchange at Christmas, or at the Christmas time, I should say. So I'm really excited to bring those ones to book club. So that was a big box I wasn't expecting, but I got really excited. Now, some of these came from a coworker of mine. A few came, I ordered off Amazon when they were doing a 3-for-2 sale, and then the rest came from a weekend I'll tell you about in a minute. So just a couple that came from my coworker. The first one is Liane Moriarty's 9 Perfect Strangers. I have not read this one yet, so I was like, sure, I'll add it to my library. Same thing with James Patterson's 22 Seconds, I believe. I got that sticker on there. With also, is it Maxine, Paetro? So I'm a fan of James Patterson. My dad's favorite fan of James Patterson. So I said I will add that one. And then I do believe she also gave me a copy of Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. I have already read this, but I loved it. And I have it on my Kindle. So I was happy to have a copy for my library. So those are all ones that came from friends, or coworker, I should say. A few now that I've picked up either via Amazon or Pango. This book, The Lost Girls of Willowbrook by Ellen Marie Wiseman. I just finished this one. You'll hear more about it in my November wrap-up. I was reading it for part of Historathon, which I'm kind of sort of participating in, but this was the group read. Really looking forward to talking about that one here at the end of the month. Like I said, I picked up some books in the Amazon 3-for-2 sale. Pretty Dead Queens was one that was on my most anticipated list. It was either October or November, by Alexa Donne. And so I picked that one up because I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to all these. You're going to hear me say that a lot and I'm going to forget. One that I just needed the physical copy of was The Last Housewife, by Ashley Winstead. I have this one on my Kindle, but I needed to have it on my shelves. I want to loan this out to people, so now I have it. Same thing I picked up from Pango, In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. I also had this one on my Kindle and wanted a physical copy so that people in my life can read it, and all the different coworkers I like to loan books to. So those were great to have. I already had a copy of her romance novel she wrote, so I wanted those ones. Let's see here. This was my book of the month pick for, November. That was Clare Mackintosh's The Last Party. I have only read one book by Clare Mackintosh, and that was Hostage, but I really liked it. And this one, the tagline, at midnight, one of them is dead. By morning, all of them are suspects. Sounded great to me. So that was my book of the month pick for this month. And I think that was the only one I picked for this month. So one that was sent to me so graciously from Krista at Books and Jams, and I think this one was on my wish list, and that's The Bookwoman's Daughter by Michele Richardson. I have not read the first book in this series yet. Pretty sure it's back here on my shelves. So thank you, Krista. I'm looking forward to picking this one up as soon as I pick up the first one. All right, a couple more that I picked up. Not from my fun weekend. Verity by Colleen Hoover, and this is the special edition that has the exclusive new chapter. I haven't read it yet. I've read Verity, but I haven't read the exclusive chapter. I did not have a physical copy of Verity, and I figured this was a perfect opportunity to not only get that extra chapter, but have this like gorgeous cover. So I had to pick that one up. And another one that I picked up, I think I must have picked this one up at like Sam's Club. and I was quite shocked to see how large it was. But that is The First to Die at the End by Adam Silvera. I have read They Both Die at the End, and I believe now this one is going to be the prequel, if I remember reading that right. So looking forward to picking this one up because I did like They Both Die at the End. And that one was suggested by a coworker, so I had to pick this one up. Probably going to be a great winter break read when I actually have time to like sit down and pick up a book that's that long. All right. There is still quite the pile of books sitting next to me right now. And that is because last weekend I had the opportunity to go over to Winona, Minnesota, and then La Crosse here in Wisconsin to meet up with 3 of the most wonderful ladies ever. And that is Amanda from The Curly Reader, Lindsay from Lindsay's Little Library, and Katie from Life Between Words? I think it's Life Between Words. I'm sorry, Katie. But I will tag them all below. I was so excited to be able to spend a whole day on Saturday just running around to a bunch of really awesome bookstores with these ladies. And yeah, we spent the whole day together. I actually carpooled with Lindsay because we live almost in the same area, and we drove through like 3 snowstorms to get there. But what a beautiful drive it was. And Winona is beautiful. I did not realize how amazing that was. And we went to some really awesome bookstores. I am not going to remember which books came from which bookstores, but I will try to link all of them that we went to below, because they'd be some pretty neat ones that if you were in that area, you'd probably want to check out. So, it's a lot. But let's jump right on in. Like I said, I won't remember where I picked these up, but I'll link them all below. First one I picked up was The Wives by Tarryn Fisher. I think I've heard good things about Tarryn Fisher. I don't believe I've read anything by her before. And this one just sounded good. And we were finding some amazing prices as we were going. And I kind of like these oversized paperback copies, so pick that one up. One that I'm pretty sure the other girls talked me into buying was In 5 Years by Rebecca Serle. Serle? I just read one of her other ones this year. And of course now I can't remember what it was. Maybe it's in here. You're holding the book, Amber. Just look it up. Maybe I haven't read another one by her. I swear it was, but I could be totally wrong. So I picked this one up because they said it was a great one. Another one that I believe Katie put into my hands, and I was like, okay, I guess I have to read it. And I had never heard of this book before, but they said it was fabulous. And that's the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. And my lights are probably washing this out a little bit, but I had never heard of this book before, and it says on here it's now a Netflix film. So if they said it's good, we did this a lot that day, I picked it up. And I also picked up Promise to Tell by Jennifer McMahon. I actually found 2 Jennifer McMahon books at this store, and I remember sitting there, I pulled them both out, and I was kind of reading both of them, and I looked at Lindsay, because I know Lindsay likes reading Jennifer McMahon, and I was like, okay, Lindsay, what do you think about these 2? And I'm pretty sure the other one talked about like a bunny, and she was like, don't get the one with the bunny. So I picked this one up. And if I didn't say, Promise Not to Tell. So, but apparently don't read the one with the bunny in it. Now this one might be a shocker, because I'm pretty sure I just talked in my unhaul, which yes, I realize is kind of ironic now that I'm doing a haul, but I talked in my unhaul about how I was getting rid of a Frederick Bachman book because I'm just not sure how I feel about him as an author. And the girls talked me into buying a man called Ove. I knew I was going to pronounce it wrong because they said this one was good. Plus, I know the movie is coming out. So, though I may not give the one I unhauled a try, I might give this one a try just to see how it goes. So, and I'm almost positive I picked this one up at a Goodwill over in Winona. And Minnesota Goodwills have fabulous prices. Like, I don't know what's wrong with our Wisconsin Goodwills, but all of the books were $1.99, no matter what. No like colored stickers, nothing. Everything, $1.99. So it was pretty hard to turn down. And actually, I think on average, when I average it out, I didn't spend more than like $4 or $5 per book. So I picked up a couple James Patterson books. because I'm almost positive I found these ones at Goodwill too, and these look like brand new, and I know my dad likes to read James Patterson, so shh, these might be Christmas presents, but he doesn't watch my videos anyway, so it's not gonna matter. But this one is Steel, and it's James Patterson and Howard, of course it doesn't say his name on Howard something, Rowan maybe? Yeah, because the sticker's covering it. But like I said, these look like almost brand new books. And I think those are ones I got at $1.99. Same. This one's a brand new hardcover. This is Three Women Disappear by James Patterson and Shan Serafin. But yeah, like gorgeous brand new hardcover, $1.99. I couldn't turn it down. All right, let's see here. There's so many more. This one I keep pushing back my hold at the library, and once I saw this beautiful paperback copy at one of the used bookstores we went to, I couldn't say no, and that was Never Saw Me Coming by Vera Curian, I believe. And so I said, yep, I'm just gonna pick it up because then maybe it'll actually force me to read it. I say this now as I'm looking at this huge pile of books. But this is a really cute bookstore. I'm almost positive. Yep, this one was in Winona that I picked up. So, and yeah, the little tagline on here says grade A student, grade A psychopath. Okay, buzzwords to me. One I picked up solely because of Audrey at Chapter and Converse. Because she has talked about this book a lot, and I've looked for it in a lot of different places, and I just like wasn't comfortable paying prices for it, and I'm pretty sure I found it for a good price. Yeah, at one of our hauls, and that was Bathhouse by PJ Vernon. Excuse me, Audrey raved about it, so I was ready to pick it up, and this cover is just really cool. So let's see. One that is very timely for this time of year was Skipping Christmas by John Grisham. I don't believe I've read this, but all the girls said that this is what the movie Christmas with the Cranks is based off of. So I figured it would be like very cute, very timely. It's very, very short. I don't think it's going to take me long at all because it's under 200 pages, and I figured it'd be a great book to pick up for this time of year. This one I had never heard of before, but it sounded really interesting. That's Perfect Little Children by Sophie Hannah. Yeah, 12 years have passed, so why don't Thomas and Emily look any older? So I was like, interesting. So I got talked into buying a lot of books this past weekend, so that might have been one of them that I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. Hey, ladies, what do you think? And they're like, yeah, pick it up. I am not blaming them for any of these purchases, though. I'm so very thankful for the time I got to spend with them. Another one that I think has been on my list for quite a while is The Spanish Daughter by Lorena Hughes. My lights are once again washing this out, but it's a gorgeous cover. Gorgeous. And I always have liked reading historical fiction, but I get lost in like all of the thrillers that I have. So this was a great opportunity to pick up one that sounded quite interesting and in a place that I haven't really read much in. And it talks about being in Ecuador. So I thought that was a neat like change of scenery for some of the historical fiction that I've been reading or have read it in the past. Another basically author by, because I really liked what I've read by Heather Gudenkoff so far, and this is One Breath Away. It says one school, one gunman, your child. So I don't ever want to say that like school shooting books are a buzzword for me because that sounds horrible, but I always am interested in like the perspective, and I loved 19 Minutes by Jodi Picoult. So yeah, this one just sounded interesting. They all sound interesting, Amber. You keep saying that. Let's see. Speaking of Jodi Picoult, I picked up Leaving Time. Once again, sorry, my lights are going to wash everything out today. But that's what you get when you try to film in late afternoon after daylight savings time. But I think I've probably heard of this one before. But I want to say Lindsay put this one in my hands and she's like, oh, you've never read that before? You need to get it. So I said, okay. And I've read Jodi Picoult before, so yeah, no big deal. Let's see. We're still not done. I couldn't turn down an almost perfect condition Jennifer Hillier book, and that's Little Secrets. I have not read this one yet. I've only read Jar of Hearts, but I've loved that so far, and I've been meaning to pick up a lot of her other books, so this one called my name, and it is like in perfect condition. So that was just the craziest thing. We were finding such good quality books that look brand new for great prices. One I picked up, and this was the very first store we went to, which is a very eclectic, like, used book assortments. And I don't think I've ever heard of this one, but that's Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson, and I believe it's YA. And on the back here it says, I wasn't sure what it meant, but it was something. It was from Salone, and Salone had sent me a list, and then it like lists off this list. So it sounded interesting, and if it's something that I like, I'll keep it. If it's not, I think it'd be a great thing, as long as it's appropriate, to kind of donate to any of my friends' classroom libraries. So I needed to pick up a copy of The Giver. I do not have a copy of this in my own personal library. I do have one, I believe, in my classroom library, but I didn't know how great of a condition it was, and I love this book. I believe I've read this multiple times in my life and gotten something different from it every time I read it, and I just love this copy. I thought it was great. Oh yeah, that's the one it came with. So I'm gonna put that little bookmark in there so remember where I got it from. Only a few more left because this video hasn't been long enough, of course. This I picked up. This is The Forgotten Daughter by Joanna Goodman, who was the author of The Home for Unwanted Girls, and I actually just pulled it out on my shelf here because I want to remember to read it so that I can pick up this one after that. They both sound fantastic, and so I said, apparently I might have been in a little bit of a historical fiction mood when I was picking things up, but this one sounded great. So yeah. Another one that I picked up, I think from that very first bookstore, and it just looked like it was in great condition, and that's Sisterhood Everlasting by Anne Bradshares. This is, I think, 10 years later. Yeah, Return to the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants 10 years later. I like the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. I will admit I have not read that whole series. I think I've only read one, maybe the second one, but I thought it would be interesting to kind of like go 10 years in the future and see. But I will have to find out whether or not I needed to read all of the books in the series before I pick this one up. And last but certainly not least, and this was a Goodwill find, and this looks absolutely brand new, and I paid $1.99 for it. And that is The Kingdom of Savannah by George Dawes Green. I believe I entered several Goodreads giveaways to try to win this one. And I think it just came out this year, if I remember right. Yep, 2022. So brand new book, based in, it says it's a novel about a place and the people in that place that reads like a thriller, but only written by somebody that really knows Savannah and how Southern Gothic it is. So sounds great. And I know Amanda was like, I want that one too. So Amanda, I do promise you, I will send this one to you after I'm done with it. So that is everything that I have picked up recently, especially, I believe it's like 19 books or something that I picked up last weekend. But that was a special trip and it meant so much that it definitely fills my cup. So I've got a lot of reading I need to get done. Thank goodness. I'm currently on Thanksgiving break right now, and we will have holiday break coming up here in like 3 to 4 short weeks. So I need to start making a dent in some of these books. Are there any of these that you have read before and you have suggestions or reviews over? Don't spoil anything, but feel free to leave your comments below. What have you picked up lately? Anything I should add to my list? As always, if you liked this video, feel free to like and subscribe. I would be happy to have you join me again. And as always, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time.